This episode started out as one of fascination and became one of changing perception. I travelled here with an idea in my head of what I would find, but what I found couldn't have been further from what I expected. The narrative that the media continues to push created a prejudice in me that I'm glad I got the opportunity to erase. This place will always remind me to keep an open mind and form my own opinions, and I hope it will do the same for you. In the heart of Copenhagen, Denmark's capital city, lies Christiania. When the military barracks were abandoned, hippies quickly moved in and started one of the longest lasting social experiments in free living, much to the disdain of the Danish government.
It's nobody's land and it's everybody's land.
Why are you so afraid for that we have a chance to prove that it is possible? If you mean we cannot do it, so let us prove that we can do it.
Cannabis smoke filled the air while other drugs were banned. Everyone came together to keep the town running. A bakery, a blacksmith's, and a bike repair shop were set up, with people volunteering for roles in an effort to ensure the sustainability of Christiania. They were met with aggression from the police, and a war began that continues to this day.
It's very easy to start a war, but it's very hard to stop it again.
And you're at war?
Yeah, kind of. Free your life. Get yourself rid of all the suppressing structures in society. Come to Christiania, make your own choice, have a free life.
Alright guys, this is actually the most stressed I've ever been filming a video. Not only do I not really know what to expect, but there's also some areas inside here where you're not allowed to film. There's some areas where filming is completely fine and the tourist trade is what keeps the place going. But there's some areas like Pusher Street where filming is completely prohibited. Alright guys, now we're at the famous gates of Freetown Christiania. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film or talk in there, but I'm really excited to get in and have a look around. As I walked in, I was on edge, but the first thing I noticed was how welcoming it felt. It didn't feel dirty or uninviting. It felt like the people were happy to welcome tourists and promote their message. They even have a skate park by the entrance that's open to everyone and promotes skateboard safety and community. It was at this point my fear began to subside. I thought I'd be met with hostility while I filmed, even in the areas it was allowed. Then I spoke to a man in the market who cleared things up for me.
Where's the street that you're not allowed to film? Where can
Yeah,
you...
but that's a long time ago.
Oh, you can film everywhere?
One year ago, we closed the street.
It's gone now?
Yeah.
Ah.
But you can buy some still
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you need some, but it's not like open market.
Right. Just we were worried about taking pictures and stuff.
You can take pictures everywhere now.
Take pictures everywhere. Oh, cool. That's really good to know.
So we've just found out that the actual Pusher Street, which is where there was no cameras allowed and drugs were sold freely, it's actually been shut down by the people of Christiania. So now you're free to take videos and photos of absolutely everywhere, which is great. Obviously, if you're going to take photos or videos of the people who live here or of their work or their market stalls or anything, you've got to ask permission just to be polite. But it's really good to know that they've sort of shut down the sort of criminal side to it, and now it's just a safe haven for artists and anarchists and anyone who wants to live an alternative lifestyle. It's really good to see. We wanted to learn more about this place from the people who lived here. So when we stumbled into the local sports shop, we luckily got talking to Emil.
I think it was one of the safest places I've ever been. I've traveled a bit around Europe as well, because everybody knows everybody, but a lot of people, or they know your parents or off your brother, whatever it is. So
there's like a good community.
Exactly. It feels like people have an eye out for you. So you might rebel and do some whatever shit when you're a kid. It's never anything out of the ordinary. witness this. Maybe.
We were just talking to someone down the street, and they said the famous Pusher Street, it's gone now.
Yeah.
Has that just been shut down? Was that by the people or by the police?
So it was a joint effort, unfortunately. Last year in April, Shayna came out or reached out for the government's help, included the police to shut it completely down and make sure that it didn't come back. That was like a week later, like it's done before, but that was after numerous failed attempts of trying to close it out on our own.
Would people just sort of rebuild the stalls and just were like move it sort of slightly further down?
Difficult as a regular person with a job in a local working society to go down and tell a guy with a gun or with a weapon on them to do something else.
Yeah.
They'll initially tell you to fuck off and like leave me alone. Yeah. That was kind of the situation for the last 3-4 years. The street was like a shell of its like originality back then, and it was a sad thing.
Yeah,
you have to realize that Shane is built on nothing. It's nothing value. There's not a single set up pride when it comes to plants.
Like
in a hippie mindset.
Because
it's been a big part of the earth. It's been a big part of the culture. That's what's been preserved here. The culture that they've built the community on has been tried to be included as in the regular everyday life. The concept of the street has always been the same. You have a little building, we're all thing, and then your neighbors do whatever. But as you progress and people end up just respect that,
it changes the
whole vibe of everything, because you gotta watch your neighbor all of a sudden. And like watching your neighbor, that's the worst thing. You never feel safe. Everybody's on edge.
I suppose you can see why people did want it gone. But the legacy that it leaves is
I don't think you can necessarily shit on it, because shitting on it, I think it's a little ignorant. Maybe we were pioneers on that.
Definitely.
But just took all the trash for it and never really got credit. And then unfortunately, the way Denmark and like Copenhagen in general has chosen to regulate it or like fight it.
It's been massive criminalization.
What has been led to this situation now?
Thank you very much. That was really cool. Thank you so much.
I got you.
After talking for over an hour, we were even more enamored with this place and what they stand for. We learnt about some of the celebrities that feel the same, and we wanted to get something to remind ourselves of our time. So we bought some of the jerseys that the local football team wear. They're incredibly designed. The home kit has graphics that depict the town, and the away kit has their slogan across it: "You'll never smoke alone."
This is amazing. I want to live here. I love this place. This is so cool.
So much. That is unreal. Alright, my entire perception of this place has been completely changed. I came in here with this idea of anarchy, and although it is at its core anarchy, it's not anarchy like you would experience anywhere else. It's actually freedom and peace. And we were just in the sports club. They actually have their own football team. We got talking to Emil, and I apologise to the owner, I didn't actually catch his name, but they were so nice and so interesting, and they were explaining the history of this place and the culture, and we must have been in there for about half an hour just talking to them, and they really cared about this place, and they were so open and honest about their opinions and all of their views about the past of here, the future of here, the relationship with the government and the police. And it's honestly just incredible to see the real version of what Christiania is. You see all the content online, you see that everyone's afraid of it, everyone's saying, not allowed to take photos here, not allowed to take photos there, there's so many drugs and crime. It's not like that at all. It couldn't be further from the truth. Everyone that we've spoken to has told us how, you used to not be able to take photos on Pusher Street because people didn't want to be in photos, but now you can take photos anywhere. If you want to take a photo of someone, just ask them, and some people might say no, but if you walk down the street in New York, someone's not going to want their photo taken. Whereas you come here and at least everyone will speak to you and they'll be honest. And you know, we actually ended up getting a couple of jerseys from the football team, and I really wish we were here on Sundays whenever they play. They've had some of my favourite celebrities have actually gone and repped their team. Snoop was on stage wearing a jersey. Woody Harrelson apparently comes to a game at least once a year. They had a photo of Ice Cube holding the shirt. It's incredible, and they've given us some advice of where to walk and where to see the old houses that were originally here back in the 70s. So I think that's what we're going to do now, because I'd love to see where this place started and then be able to translate it to where it is now, because now I want to live here. I really do. I think this place is absolutely incredible and so interesting, and it's completely changed my perception. I was a little bit scared whenever I was coming in, and now I'm not scared in the slightest, because everyone here is so friendly. As we walked through the streets and looked at some of the stunning artwork on display, we thought some more about what Emil had said off camera. How the kids of Christiania go to school in the surrounding areas, but are kept in a separate class to themselves. How the people of Christiania get twice the punishment for the same crime as others. How the fight to keep Christiania is still ongoing, even though they now own the buildings. What the people have had to go through at the hands of the government and the police is so wrong. And it's all because they want to live differently from the norm. They want the freedom to express themselves how they want, and live in a place where they can make the laws as a collective, instead of them being forced upon them. He told us to go and check out the original houses in town. Originally, Christiania was a military base, so when the military left and the people moved in, they took over the barracks and other buildings and turned them into housing. It seems like the biggest fuck you to the government to take something meant for violence and turn it into a place of peace. They even refurbished and reimagined a lot of the old equipment left behind. Before we left, we decided to go for a coffee in the oldest bar in town. The barman was interested in what we were doing there and brought us a book of old photos and sat with us, telling us stories from the early days.
That's a lot of punk concerts, that's a lot of text. Pictures are more interesting. Huh?
The pictures are amazing. So are these like the OGs?
OGs.
The originals?
A lot of these are the OGs, man. This was like a fucking circus and a half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just made a lot of summer wooden kind of houses.
Right.
No rules, except the internal ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of freeloaders and people with psychological problems, they come because they don't feel different, because everybody is different.
Everyone's different, yeah. The time I spent in Christiania really made me think a lot. The media has portrayed this place to be a drug haven for hippies and criminals. The fear I felt as I was going there was down to misinformation and fear-mongering. What I found were some of the nicest, most welcoming, interesting people I've ever met. I didn't have a single negative encounter the whole time I was there, but what I did have were lots of lovely interactions, great conversations, and truly memorable experiences. Christiania is a reminder to all that just because people live differently to you, you shouldn't be afraid. You should experience it for yourself and make up your own opinion. And if you're like me, and you find yourself going to Christiania, hopefully you'll find yourself leaving a lot happier. I'll see you next week.